Okay guys, I figured I'd do something a little different today, and instead of talking about all the native plants around here, try and make the place and habitat better by weeding some invasive ones. And there is no shortage of invasive plants around here, like especially this Melilotus officinalis, also known as yellow clover. I think that's one that's just from Europe, but that's not the one I'm looking for today. What I'm looking for is Euphorbia myrsinites, also known as Myrtle Spurge, which is just getting absolutely out of control in the Salt Lake region and other parts of the western United States and like British Columbia. It's originally brought to the area as a water-wise garden ornamental, and it does look like a really cool plant. It's quite beautiful, though it's kind of getting kind of ugly this time of year now that it's done growing. But it is unfortunately quite invasive, and not much can change that. Some of the native plants we would find in its habitat are growing right here at the front of a trail, interestingly. This is Mahonia repens, or actually Berberis repens, commonly known as the creeping barberry or creeping Oregon grape. It's one I really like a lot, but fortunately it's very much outcompeted sometimes by Myrtle Spurge. Now I was hoping to be able to use my brother's GoPro for this video, but according to him, he lost it or just doesn't have it anymore, which, I mean, go figure. I can only count the number of times I've lost a $300 piece of electronic equipment, but regardless of his lack of helpfulness, I will still try and film this, so some footage of me actually weeding the plants. I might have to switch over to my phone occasionally, and there's definitely times I will have to not be filming at all. But I'll show you the aftermath of all the filming and all the weeds piled up, and that should be a little satisfying. But yeah, I mean, if this is popular enough, I can make more videos like this and maybe get an actual proper GoPro, but let's just carry on. Wait. And here's the first bit of Myrtle Spurge I've found so far, going right into that tree. Now normally I always am interested in trying to remove it while I'm on the trail, but I always forget to bring gloves. This time I've come prepared. Because you need gloves because this plant has a toxic sap, a toxic latex that can cause chemical burns, and that's not too pleasant. So zooming in closer, oh, it's on. I gotta place my foot a little better. You're gonna want to go grab it from the base as much as possible, and just hope I get the whole root out. Success. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see if we can find some more. Unfortunately, this plant has likely already set seed this time of year, so I'll definitely have to come back, and I mean, there's always dormant seeds in the soil, but I guess I can make something of a difference right now. We just plant a lot from one of the previous jobs I had, but man, I always felt like a constant battle against it. It's just so aggressive. They have these fruits that actually, they say violently dehisce, so they split apart, throwing their seeds everywhere. That's how they scatter them about. Can I even have the courtesy of having edible fruit that like feed birds, something like that. But I teach the plant. I'm sure it's a really cool in its native habitat, but until I ever get to visit that, which is around like the Eastern Mediterranean, like Italy, the Balkans, and Turkey, I don't like the plant very much. Okay, switching my phone now, we have some more very visible plants here. Right here. Got it? This is what they look like when they're quite little. I don't want to cause too much erosion, but it's kind of a double-edged sword. Promise their use in binding the soil together is not that great. This is a bit precarious. Can you see the plant? There you go. Shoot, now this is what I normally want to avoid. Strip up the stems like that. That's a really unfortunate thing, but it does set the plant back a little bit, so it's not the worst in the world. Oh geez, that's worse than I thought. Unfortunately, I'm not going to go all the way up and get that, but I'll find some more low down ones I can get. Sorry about it. I didn't know some hikers came up on me and wondered what I was doing, but they seemed understanding. Maybe a little bit weirded out, but you gotta expect that sometimes. Just want to do good in the world. Sure, Post 10 gets a lot of weird looks occasionally, and all he wants to do is help out his community and while having fun at the same time. I mentioned this plant has a toxic sap, and that's the sort of white latex that wouldn't come up at the root, unfortunately. But you can see, well, it's not bleeding out right there, but I'll show you on this one. That stuff oozing out, it's quite, it can cause some pretty nasty burns. So if you have this in your yard and you have children, you may want to be careful about it, or if you even just have pets, because it can burn through their fur and it gets on their skin. I heard it's actually, by some sources, photosensitizing, so it needs to be exposed to sunlight to cause burns, but I don't know if that's actually true. Unfortunately, I couldn't get all the myrtle spurge in this one patch because going up the hill there, it's quite steep and there's quite a lot behind the trees. But I was able to get a lot closer to the trail, and I just piled up them all right underneath the shrubs right here. And that's sort of the aftermath. You can see them all. They'll decay down into, give nutrients back to the soil eventually. So I figured I'd pile them up there instead of directly on the trail, where they just don't do any good. It's never a pile of them, but let's see if I can find anything else going further on. I think we might have a new champion here. Oh yeah, it's gonna go. Oh, that was not as big as I thought it was. There's two of them. There we go. Together they're pretty nice, but I think one of those other ones I pulled was bigger. So I can stuff them. There. Some more need to be yanked though. My gloves are already tearing. I swear they lasted longer when I was doing this at the city. Oh, this might be the biggest. Oh, that's pretty big. Sheesh. Look at that monster. Hate to cut its life trip, except, well, no, I actually really enjoy doing this. You can see some of the past branches, because their branches often die after they reproduce while the plant was on. Get quite thick like that. Oh, that one snapped at the root, dang. Ah, those are rocks. I might find a better place to put them. Underneath there. I like that more. I still don't think I'm done yet. All right, this is a great place to go to town, although it might take me too long to get them all out. Let's just see. I'm gonna do a before and after. One of the nice things about weeding these big ones is that there isn't a bunch of tiny little shoots or new seedlings growing underneath them. Nice clean break. It's progress so far. So it makes the job a lot cleaner, because one of the most difficult things about this is getting all the little tiny ones that keep coming up. See, there's a lot of plants that were growing underneath it that are now going to get a second chance at life. So I feel like I'm really doing some good here. But anyways, back to just pure weeding. Just sort of want to see if we can expose some plants here. There is some Toxicodendron rydbergii, also known as poison ivy, of course, so I'm going to be a little careful. Would hate to get burned by that plant after, not burned, but get the allergic reaction after being so careful on this one. But there might be some plants buried right inside of it, like this Berberis repens. Man, my gloves are already, my second pair are already tearing, and I don't have any more. But I really want to finish this job today. Look, another Berberis repens just totally buried there, and it's gonna get a second chance at life now because I got rid of all these stupid invasives. I'm working on it. There's a lot of invasive grass here, unfortunately, but that's just not gonna be possible to deal with, unfortunately. It's a cheat grass. It's getting all the awns in my feet, but I'll make sure not to spread them at the least. God, this is a real mess. It's more like a bunch of smaller plants than one big one, which is making it tricky. Okay, those tore, that's unfortunate. Did I rip any? Oh no, I did not rip any of the leaves of that nice creeping Oregon grape. Oh yes, this is going great. Well, that's a big one. Look, some plants are just right underneath there, being suppressed by a stupid Myrtle Spurge. All the big pile I'm throwing them all right there is just a bunch of, I think, cheatgrass. Some are invasive. I know it's invasive grass of some type. It's gotta be cheatgrass, but so anyways, the point is that I'm not burying any of these nice important plants with them, and by putting a big pile, it'll reduce the chance of any of them rerooting, and we'll hopefully bake the ones in the interior a lot quicker. See, look, all that was just Myrtle Spurge right in front of me, and I exposed all the plants that are living underneath there. Wow, my gloves are really torn. I might get burned from this, guys, but I really still want to finish it up. It's my cue to leave. Oh wait, it's not a rattlesnake, never mind. Damn, that scared me for a second. But I think there might be snakes here, but I guess I gotta be a little more cautious. Of course, that's a lot of poison ivy as well, so I might be cutting off the video soon if I don't feel I can get it out safely. Sheesh. I made a lot of progress though. Now that I removed almost all of it, we can see what was hiding underneath. And that seems to be mostly a bunch of Berberis repens, like I said, likes this habitat. Some of it's doing pretty worse for wear, some of it I kind of trampled. All the guys improved, but yeah, pretty much all of this was Myrtle Spurge when I first got here. There's still some left up there and a lot up there. I'll come back for it later. But I'm really happy with what I did right now. I think I did something good. It's just how much I pulled up. It's a really decent pile. And I got an even bigger one right down there. And I've made sure not to cover up any native species with the pile. So yeah, it'll decay into like a nice mulch eventually. It'll definitely shrink in size pretty soon at least as it dries up. But yeah, if you want to remove Myrtle Spurge yourself, which you definitely should, watch my video on how to do it, because I broke a lot of rules that you really should follow, like wearing long sleeve shorts, or sorry, long sleeve pants and long sleeve shirts. And because I did know some sap got on my skin, you just never know what's going to happen, and it can be really unpleasant to do that. But otherwise, I think I'll be fine if I can just get home and shower really quick. So hopefully you like this video. I might make more like it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.